Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomat YouTube channel, guys. You're rocking with us to start this week off here Monday morning, coffee flowing. And the question is it with 10 years of investing, is your dividend income and portfolio growing? Time to find out.
Smash that subscribe button, everyone. Give this video thumbs up. This is episode 2 in our Monday installment of if you invested $10,000 in a stock, what would the returns look like today? So let's kick this sucker off.
Yeah, last week we did a little old reliable Johnson & Johnson, the dividend king themselves, and we're going to stay consistent with the dividend kings, guys, and we are going to migrate over to the consumer beverage, consumer snack Goliath of PepsiCo, ticker symbol PEP. Now, Bert, you've probably owned Pepsi for over 10 years, right?
Absolutely. And we've been buying them a lot in 2025 because they dipped famously down into the 120s per share. They hung around in the 130s for a while. Pepsi, though, had a little bit of a comeback with a activist investor jumping in, popping them up into the high 150s, but they've come back down to earth around 146.
That's right. They're in the 146 range, guys. So the question is, had you invested $10,000 10 years ago, how many shares did you start with? How many shares did you end with? One is going to be with dividend reinvestment. One scenario is without dividend reinvestment. What is the average total return and how many ending shares with the drip would you have and how much actual income would that be? So let's dive in, Bert. What do you want to kick this off with? Should we do the with or without dividends reinvested?
I think we say without, and we save the best for last. And by
Saving
the way,
the best for last, guys.
you
Go
asked
ahead.
me and I didn't ask you. Have you owned Pepsi for over 10 years as well?
Probably. I would think so, right?
Yeah. I realized I started talking. And I didn't even ask you if you had. So Wayne and I both have probably had Pepsi for 10 years.
Tomato and a tomato. Now we're gonna start then with the non-drip, reinvestment guys, aka the faucet is not turned on to buy back shares. So had you invested in 10 grand in September 8th, 2015, the price was $92.37 way back in the day. So they've obviously crossed that $100 threshold since then because they're ending at $146.39 as of September 5th.
Okay.
Now, you've collected about $41 in dividends per share along the way because you've owned, you've owned what was the start of the shares? You probably have had about 108 shares with the 10 grand. So guess what? You've had over 100% total return with Pepsi.
That's an average annualized return of 7.36%, which is not bad in the long run when you compare it to stretching out the S&P 500 over an extended period of time. Average annual return of 7%. It's great, despite the fact some people have been disappointed recently. You stretch out the return longer, and that's why we do this, everybody. That's why we're long-term investors. We look at the long-term mindset.
So your ending investment value is about 20,343. So
yeah, doubled up.
Yeah, pretty good. You're 7.36% return, not too bad. Obviously, the last 2 or 3 years have been pretty depressed for PepsiCo. So, gosh, if you would have done 2015 to like 2020, those results would have been a hell of a lot different.
Sure.
But we're dividend investors. We reinvest our dividends here for the most part. So with Pepsi investing 10K, you're starting out at 108 shares, Bert.
Mm-hmm.
You're ending with reinvestment, not at 108. How many shares do you end with after 10 years?
145.92 shares. So you're adding another, 38 shares just from dividend reinvestment alone. So again, that is 108.26 shares that you start with on this investment. Drip makes it 145 shares. Love it.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
that brings up the return too, Lanny. So we said the return without drip were 103% overall. What is that return with dividend reinvestment?
Goes up just a little bit more to 113.62%. Again, all about the market fluctuation on those dripped shares. So you do squeak out just a little bit more of a return. On PepsiCo, again, you're getting closer to that 8% average compounded total return at 7.89%. And you finish out with $21,370.36. So you do edge out total ending investment dollars had you not reinvested. Now, here's the beauty though, Bert. Again, PepsiCo pays about $1.42 per share per quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And you times that by 4 quarters, 568. And you now have 145.92. You're now getting $829 a year in dividends. So now the compounding happens that much harder and faster, owning that many more shares because of drip.
You're absolutely right. And that's why this has been such a fun exercise now that this is our second one. You saw the power of the drip with Johnson Johnson last week, and you saw the power of the drip, how that adds another $1,000 to your return here for Pepsi over that 10-year span. It's fantastic.
So, guys, what do you think of the series? Want us to keep going? What stock do you want us to look at? Please let us know so we can do this. When you look at the charts, have you owned PepsiCo for the last 10 years? Have you then reinvested or not reinvested? Did you get the 7.89% return or the 7.36% return? Let us know in the comments.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, you are either with us or you're against us, Jack.
Oh, yeah. You're either with us or you're against us. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Let's go.
Guys, that was the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.